show the video. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Okay, our first session will begin by 3:40 p.m. That's the West African time zone, and of course, we'll be, you know, going ahead to have our first speaker talk to us about troubleshooting Power Apps Connector, and basically that's the first topic that we are going to be having here today. And I'm pretty much excited, looking forward to this amazing speaker to talk to us about our Power Apps. I'm sure you know that basically connector is more or less like, that proxy that allows usually services to talk to our Microsoft Power Platform. So I'm looking out to this amazing speaker who will be talking to us about troubleshooting Power Apps Connector. Also, it's great to know that we have this evaluation session because you have the chances of winning amazing prizes and including Xbox. Wow, I'm really excited because for the Xbox, that's something huge. I wish I would be able to, you know, have that. As well as a moderator, but I don't think I have the chance to win that. But you do, and all you have to do is go ahead to the link such that you are able to, partake in this evaluation. Also, before I move on, I think it would be nice for me to introduce myself. My name is Oluwatose Anishere, and I'm a Microsoft certified trainer. I specialize in Microsoft Azure as well as Microsoft 365. And also I have I've trained different IT professionals around the globe, and equally I'm also a consultant. So that's something, little that I feel you can know about me. I'm an active participant in the MCT Niger user group, as well as a mentor at Textilers. So that's about me. Also, before we move on, it's important for us to thank our sponsors, and I would say a big thank you to our sponsors for supporting the MCT West Africa Bootcamp 2021. So I'll be saying thank you, Microsoft. Thank you, DB Consult. That's DB Brown Consult. Thank you, Hashem. Thank you, Covenant Technologies. Thank you, UR Biz Edge. Thank you, Gyre. That's the Gyre Computer Solutions. Thank you, Charis Cloud. Thank you, AfriLogic. Thank you, Rugby Business Solutions. Thank you, Macintosh. Thank you, Wisely's. And finally, thank you, Textilers. Thank you for supporting the MCT West Africa Bootcamp 2021. Okay, so here is the agenda for the day before I have my first speaker come up. Okay, it will be for this track, that's the M365 Power Platform track agenda, would have the first speakers, connect to us to deliver its topic is by 3:40 to 4:10. That's the West African time zone. And I will have our second speaker, who is Titi Lokwe, delivering the second topic to us, which is around 4:20 p.m. to 4:50 p.m. Still the West African time zone. We have our third speaker who is going to dissect, document automation in Power Platform. And this speaker would be also doing a wonderful talk to us around 5 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. West African time zone. Okay. Our second to the last speaker will be talking to us on Microsoft Viva Connections. I'm sure you don't want to miss that. That would be around 5:40 p.m. to 6:10 p.m. 30 minutes as well. And finally, saving the best for the last, we are going to be talking about our speaker talk about the Microsoft Power Platform for Africa's healthcare and SDG. And that will be our final talk for this event, which is going to start around 6:20 p.m. to 6:50 p.m. And that's the agenda we have lined up for today. So without wasting much time, let's go ahead to our speaker. Our speaker is in the house. Our speaker is around. So Our speaker who will be delivering the first topic to us is Funsho Akerele. Funsho is an IT expert with a demonstrated history of working in information technology industry. He's skilled in Microsoft Dynamics 365, also Power Platform, as well as IT services management. Of course, Funsho is relevant in the IT, professional, and he has a bachelor's degree in business administration. Funsha fully focused in the business information system, and that's from the University of Cape Coast, Ghana. So Funsha's work toward is excellence, and be sure Funsha will be delivering to us excellent, topic for us today. Hello, Funsha.
Hello, hi, Tosi. Hi, everyone. I hope you can hear me loud and clear.
Loud and clear. Welcome to the MCT West Africa. All
Yeah,
right.
thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Oh, great. So here you go. The stage is yours.
Okay, so I'm just trying to navigate my way around this. Okay, so for some technical reasons, I might not be able to show my very own face for you to see me. Okay, so sorry about that. Okay, so I'm going to be starting with what the Power Platform is generally. So this might be a session for both, let's say, beginners and even intermediaries or even pro experts when it comes to the Power Platform. Okay, so the Power Platform majorly we know is said to be a low code no code platform. And it's really been awesome seeing these amazing tools coming out from the Microsoft space to enhance productivity and get to see how we can automate processes, build quite easy and quick applications for us to deliver on time. And all these are boiling down to one major factor. And this major factor here, I'll be linking it to what is called data connectors. Okay, data connector. So today agenda we'll be looking at a general overview of data connectors, and we would get to see the types of connectors that are out there, and also we'll look at some things to consider when you are trying to fix issues pertaining to your data not populating correctly in Power Platform, or let's say you being unable to leverage on some certain type of data sources. Okay, so we'll be looking at some of the things that you would need to consider, especially looking at both Power Automate and Power Apps. Then we'll be covering licensing under that area as well. Then also we would look on throttling, and then we would also look at some limitations around some of the connectors. And I was made known that App Magic is being deprecated, so you might not be able to use App Magic again. Microsoft has pushed out some updates to help fix issues regarding App Magic. Then we'll go to the Q&A section. Okay, so as we know, data is a core of most apps and automation processes that we are using today in the Power Platform. So, including the data that you build in Power Apps, data is also stored in a data source. So, when we say data is stored in a data source, there are several data sources. Salesforce could be a data source. Your SQL could be a data source, even if it's on Azure or it is on premise, it can actually still be a data source. Even Excel is a data source, and the very popular, known one is SharePoint. Those are also data sources. Data sources, okay, where you get to store some set of your data, and you need to also bring those data into your Power Apps or your Power Automate by you establishing what is known as a connection. Okay, what is known as a connection. So authentication is very key, both for users that are going to be utilizing or playing the apps or automating these processes or owning these apps or owning these processes. They will need to have an establishment of a connection with this data source. Okay, so the connection uses a specific connector to talk to a data source. Then Power Apps has connectors for many popular services, either on premise, as I said earlier, and including SharePoint and the rest. So now, what are data connectors? What are data connectors? So the very easy way, okay, to define this, we could say data connector is a pathway, okay, that allows you to reach your data and then communicate to those data. Okay, data connector can actually be that pathway that allows you to reach your data, connect to those data, bring those data into the Power Platform, and then you can begin to act on those data. Now, you can perform several types of actions. That is, you can make several types of calls with this data connector that you have established. So, in Power Automate and in Power Apps, okay, you can leverage data connectors. You can leverage data connectors on both bases. Now, if you're a user and you are using your connection or your data connector in Power Automate, the things you'll be the part of the data connector that you would need to really focus about will be triggers and actions. Okay, triggers and actions. While for Power Apps, okay, you can limit it just to actions. Okay, you can say, okay, you want this action to, let's say, the Outlook connector. For instance, you connecting it to your Power Apps, you want to send an email. Okay, you want to get a user profile. Those are action, okay, that are coming or that are being leveraged on by your connectors, that are being leveraged on by a connector. So you would need to look at it from these two very perspectives. Okay, so now what are the types of connectors that we have there? What are the types of connectors that we have there? So I'll proceed to share my screen now. So for you to see one moment. Yep, this one. Okay, I believe you should be able to see my screen. Okay, so in this area, okay, when you want to look at the connectors that are available for you. Now, since you've already established the fact that you can actually connect to your data sources, okay, by establishing connections within the Power Platform space. Okay, so you can actually navigate to the home page, okay, of either your Power Automate or your Power Apps. Now, first of all, before we talk about establishing of the connections, we need to first of all look at the connectors that are available to us. So if you go to your flow.microsoft.com page, you will be able to see the list of options that you have, okay, the types of flows you can build, but majorly our concern is with connectors. Okay, so on selecting connectors, you will see that there are several types of connectors in here. And one common thing that you will see is that some has the designation premium and some have just standard. Okay, some have premium and some are just not having anything, and these ones are called standard. Now at the top right, I'm going to toggle and show the difference between these two. Okay, so when you are building apps, okay, or building flows, there is a need to put into consideration what type of data sources you will be establishing connections with. Okay, so these will enable you have a smooth operation. That is, if you are building a flow that will be using, let's say, a SQL trigger, or let's say an SQL action, definitely you will be needing to establish connection with SQL. Okay, but those that you are sharing this apps with, do they have access to SQL? Okay, do they have access to SQL? So it is very important that these are actually taking consideration of. Okay, so these connectors that we are seeing here now, these are standard connectors. Now we could say these are like native Microsoft 365 applications or services. Okay, your basic, so I'll be delving into how you can troubleshoot using some of the techniques that are out there. So these are standard connectors. SharePoint is a standard connector. Twitter is one. Outlook.com or Outlook 365 is actually one. Now, if peradventure you are utilizing any of this connection, now the place where you would need to first take a look at, for instance, if your flow is failing, is for you to go into um, the data tab and go into your connections. Okay, so in going into your connections, you will find the list of all the connectors that are out there. I hope I get to see some connectors that are having problems, so we would get to see how you can fix that. Now, part of the things you would need to fix are issues regarding authentication. Okay, authentication. Now, if your flows are failing for some reason, oh, very good. Okay, so I have some um, error connectors here. So these are the kind of things you get to see. Now, your flow fails because for some reason you are not having the authentication done. Okay, so you might need to then fix these you might need to fix this connection. Okay, so these are the very first areas that you should go to. And on clicking that, you would have the opportunity to re-authenticate. So for some of us, we utilize data sources, okay, that have APIs that get to, or let me say API tokens that expires. Okay, so if you are using, let's say, some API for, let's say, I think Zoho or Twilio should be one. Okay, in establishing connection to those types of data sources, you need an API. Now, if the API expires, okay, you will need to come back in here and then re-authenticate. Okay, it is very important that you always come to this section, and there is one thing that would happen: you will always get notified. You will always get an email notification for you to fix these errors that you're having with your authentication. Okay, so this is the very first area that you might need to come into. So going back to the connectors which we were looking at, so still on standard connectors, so I'm just going to click back connectors. Okay, so still on standard connectors. So these standard connectors now, in linking them now to licenses, and linking them now to licenses. Now, when you are troubleshooting your flows or your apps, one of the things you should look into as well will be looking into the license. Okay, very, very important. Now, different types of licenses would give you different privileges within the Power Platform space. So, if it were to be in a Power Apps environment, okay, that is, if you navigate to a make.powerapps homepage, and you need to check for the license that a user is currently using. Okay, you can click on the gear icon and come to the plans section, so you will be able to see the types of licenses that are out there. Now, this user currently has about 4 licenses, and this 4 licenses, if you take a closer look, you would see that there are some seeded, they are all seeded licenses actually. That is, this is a Power App license that comes with a Dynamics 365, another one with, let's say, another Dynamics 365 plan, and this is another one or community plan, and this with Office 365. Now, I'll be going to the licensing facts now, just to show us what the offerings have with this category of licensing. Okay, so in case you are building flows and your users are getting some issues running the flows or getting start a trial message, okay, these are the things to look out for. Okay, FAQ, power automate, power. Okay, so I'm going to click on this link. Okay, so if you click on this link, you will always get an updated licensing guide. Okay, from Microsoft. So the licenses that we'll be focusing majorly on would be the we'll look at the Power Automate and the Power Apps licenses. So for the Power Apps, so we'll start with the Power Apps first. And if you notice, we have the per user per app plan and the per user plan. So not to dwell too much on this, we'll just go straight to the offerings that they have. Okay, so this is for the Power Apps per user plan. As you can see, for both standard connectors and premium and custom connectors, it gives access, full access. Okay, that is users that will need to run flows or use apps that are having SQL, having Salesforce, okay, having Dataverse. They will need to have at least a license that supports this capability. Okay, that is this enabled. This is per user plan. Now if you scroll down to the one for Office 365, that is the power apps used right within Office 365, you will see that for standard connectors it is enabled, but for premium and custom connectors it is not enabled. Okay, so these will then take me to looking into some power apps. Okay, now imagine you are logging in as a user and you come in here to check this and you only find this option. Okay, what it means is that if you are being shared an app that has a designation of premium, you will be unable to run such applications. So I'm going to show us an example of an app that is linked to SQL. Because of time, I wouldn't go into the edits for us to see a whole lot, but I'll just show us this. Now, we have different types of app and their license designation. Okay, so as a app maker, a developer, you would need to look into these areas. Okay, that is, if you're having premium, it means your users will need at least a premium license for them to be able to utilize this. Okay, that is, they would need either a power apps per user plan like the one we saw here. I mean, yeah, a power apps per app plan, okay, or they utilize a power apps per user plan. I think economically, or let me say, to maximize your resource, you might need to go for these, which I believe is less cheap, is a bit cheaper than the per user plan. Okay, so these should be the things that we are looking out for. Now, we have some app makers or developers out there that, for some reason, they've tested um, the power apps with the functionality of premiums, and at the, let's say, at the deployment phase, they then needed to, let's say, roll it out for everyone to be able to use, and users begin to get issues of starting free trial. Now what should come to mind is going back to your app that you've built, check the license designation. Okay, if the license designation says premium and you are pretty much sure that every connection you have is standard, then all you need to do is go into the edit page. Okay, in the time past, I believe few months back, you might be experiencing difficulty in removing some connectors that are stubborn. Yeah, I term them stubborn connectors. So these connectors, they are very stubborn and they wouldn't just want to leave. Okay, so but as far back as then, you might need to use what is called app magic on your browser console to remove it. But I've been made to understand that there is an update that is being pushed from recent versions of like that is altering versions for your app studio, and now those are already out there. So I'm just going to go straight into the connectors page. And as you can see, indeed, there is a premium connection here. Okay, so all you need to do is ensure that this connection is not being used in any area of your power app. Okay, so this is just a demo app just to show us some of the things you might encounter. So this is a demo app. So this SQL connector that is here, what you then need to do is remove it, provided that it is not being used in any app or in any flow. Now, another way to check if this is being used in any app or in any flow, okay, note the environment that we are in. Connectors are specific to environment. Connectors are very specific to environment, okay? So you need to go to the other environment. So for instance, let me just go back to this environment, still the same, and go to the connections, and you can then search for SQL. So I know we're using an SQL connection, which is connecting to sales customers table in SQL. So I'm going to go here and do a quick search. Okay, load. Okay, taking longer than expected. Open up. Okay, I think I might need to do this on another tab. Okay, so I just want to show us where we can get to that on the connectors details page. Okay, where we would get to find the list of connectors that we have established, and also how you can get to identify if it is being used in an app or if it is being used in a flow. So you can go to the connections tab. Okay, still the same environment, and over here I'm just going to search for SQL. Okay, so I have lots of SQL connectors here. So I'm just going to open up, let me see, it should be quite recent. Okay, I think this is okay, this one. Okay, so under the section, you would see apps using this connector. And as you can see, my SQL app is in here. If there are other applications, okay, do not delete from here. Okay, do not delete from here. If there are flows as well using it, do not delete from here. That is other flows. So what you can do is come back to the app, okay, in the studio, ensure that it is not being used in any area in the application, and do a remove. Okay, now if you should do a remove, so I'm just going to save this app with the error now. So if you do a remove of the connector and then you go back to the details page, the designation of these should change. Okay, so I'm just going to do a refresh. So the designation should change. Now if peradventure that refuses to go, okay, you might then need to actually use the app magic, but I'm sure that should be solved now. So I think with time, this will sink in and it will change to a designation of standard. Okay, it's going to change to a designation of standard. So with your apps, okay, having to prompt your users to start a new plan, start a trial, you might need to look very well into these areas. Now, if it is for Power Automate, and then you need to check the license designation of some of your users, okay, to see what offerings are available to them. What you can do is you can press down the control um, alt A, okay, and then you will be able to have access to all the license that this user is currently having. Okay, and with this, okay, it brings us to some other issues, or let me say some other limits that comes with what is known as throttling or API calls that a user can have for a 24-hour time frame. Okay, different licensing plans have different API number of API calls they could make for a day. So, but to check, as you can see here, I have flow for flow viral. There's flow for forms pro, like flow for a whole lot of license here. Okay, but how do I know the license that is currently at work? So all you need to do is just do a control F, okay, and search for is current spelled together. Okay, and you'd see some says false, but the one that says true is the license that is currently assigned to that user. So for instance, this says is current equals true, meaning that the flow license that my user has, okay, is flow for dynamics. Okay, and it means I have access to utilize premium APIs. I have privilege to utilize on-premise gateway, custom APIs, and I have more flow runs. Okay, this is 15,000. If you look at the flow runs for these, it's just 2,000. So these are the ways of which you can actually have a deep insight into looking at what offerings are available based on your licenses to your connectors. Okay, so and also on the last point that I'm going to be making note of, so you can also go to the Power Automate limits and configurations page, or Power Apps limit and configurations page. So you can get to see the limits that your connectors have. Okay, we have seen flows that get stuck at just a particular card. Okay, this could be to what is known as a connector throttle. That is, the connector is exceeding the number of API calls it's meant to make for, let's say, a minute. Okay, so you can actually go to the power automate. Yep, I think configuration. Yeah, so here you would get to see different performance profiles. Okay, and on looking at the different performance profiles, still linked to the licensing. Okay, low, medium, high, still based on the licenses that you have. And just down here, you would be able to see the number of API calls that each flows can make for a 24 hours duration. Okay, for a 24 hours period. Then if you still scroll down, you still see other limit and configuration. SharePoint has its limit and configuration. That is, if you're using a SharePoint connector, what limit should you be looking at? If you're using a Dataverse connector, what limit should you be looking at? So each of these connectors, they have their documentations. So it is always good that you get to look into these documentations for you to know the limits that are attached to these connectors and those actions. Okay, it could be a file size limit, it could be limits pertaining to the number of calls per minute. Okay, so you will need to take a look into this and then be able to adjust, or let's say restructure your flow, okay, in order to perform quite better. So I'm going to hold a pause here. I won't be able to go on for that, although still lots of content. But I really wish I could have more time. But it's I can give room now for questions and answer in case you want to ask any. Okay, so we can get to address them.
Wow. Thank you very much, Fosho. That was a great session. I was following through. It was really an eye opener. And someone in the comment section equally mentioned same. The person said, "Wow, this is an eye opener," and I tend to agree with the person. So thank you very much. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the session and all. But there's one question I would like to ask you before we go. So, and that's
Okay.
with regards to this, to the topic, troubleshooting Power Apps connector. Sorry, what's that? Maybe you can just give us one of those, common issues that we can come across when of troubleshooting Power Apps. Probably there's one common one that happens from time to time. Probably you can just make emphasis on that so that everyone listening can just hold on to that before we end your session.
Okay, so actually, I would say the issues that arise with connectors are going to be quite peculiar. Okay, they're going to be quite peculiar, but one common thing that they will all have is that they are all going to be linked to either authentication, and they would have error codes. Okay, they would have error codes. So if you go into the error codes, okay, for those flows, okay, or for those power apps, for power apps we have what is known as the monitor. Okay, if you've had the opportunity to use the monitor before, okay, I would have loved to do another demo on this, but I wouldn't want to take much of our time. But
I
if you
understand.
actually go in, yeah, if you actually go into this monitor traces, all your errors are going to be linked to the kind of API calls that are being made. If it's a post request, or if it's a get request, or if it's a patch, or if it's a put. So, and the error codes that comes with it, okay, will also be able to hint you on what exactly is going on. If you're having a 400 error, then you should know what is expecting. If it's a 500 error, a 502 error, it means that for some reason it is throttling. If it is a 404 error, it means what you are actually querying from your data source with your connector is not found. So you might need to as well go to those data sources to actually do a double check to see if you are making the right calls to those endpoints.
Wow, thank you. Thank you very much. And everyone is also saying thank you from the comment section. You can say thank you, sir. Well done, sir. We're really happy to have you here. And thank you very much for your time. All right. So thank you, Fisher. And,
Thank you, Tosin.
all right, bye. Okay, so I want to believe we all enjoyed, our first session, and now we are going to be taking a break. Okay, of course, we are going to take maybe like 10 minutes break, and when we get back, we would continue from within the second speaker. So let's take a break.
reason.
Hello, 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 and welcome back. Okay, so yes, the session will be starting in exactly 2 minutes, and the next speaker is going to be a wonderful person who'll be talking to us about harness your superpowers with OneDrive for business. And you don't want to miss this. It's really interesting. There was a talk I did sometimes ago where I likened, or should I say, compare Microsoft Teams to Captain Marvel and SharePoint to Captain America. Okay, so I think we need to find a super hero, for OneDrive for business, and I'll come up with that very soon. Okay, so once again, please go ahead to complete the session evaluation such that you can get a chance of winning amazing prizes. And these amazing prizes definitely include Xbox. And did you know that Microsoft actually entered the console gaming space in the early 2000s? Even though the earliest experiment is as far back as 1980s, but Microsoft, I would say, joined recently the millennium, precisely November 2001. And today, or this month, I would say Xbox is 20 years. So make sure you're one of those persons that wins the Xbox. All right, so let's move on. Our next speaker is none other than Titilope Bello. Now, Titilope Bello is very passionate about transforming, the technology ecosystem, and very strategic with helping organizations to achieve their goals and objects in embracing digital transformation with over 11 years experience working with different technologies. No, this is one person you want to listen to. Welcome, Titilope. Hello. Please go ahead to unmute so that we can hear you.
Hello, Oluwatosin. Good afternoon.
Good
Can you hear me?
afternoon. Loud and clear. We can hear you, and I'm sure others can hear you as well. Welcome.
Okay, thank
All
you.
right. So you have 30 minutes, and the stage is yours.
All right, thank you very much. Just give me a second to present my slide. Hi, Tosin. Can you see my slide? Hello? Hello, Tosin. Can you see my slide?
Yes, we can. Please go ahead. We can see your slide demo. Please go ahead.
Okay. Okay. A minute. Sorry. I'm having. Okay. Apologies for the delay. Thank you very much, Oluwatosin, for the introduction. And hello, everyone. And thank you very much for joining me on this session today. My name is Titilope Bello. I work with Hashem Network Service, Hashem Limited, as a technical manager, and then I work mostly with Microsoft 365 products. So I'm going to be taking you through how to use OneDrive for business and become a hero while using it. And then before I start, I know that some of us have already created a trial tenant from the previous session, and I will encourage those of us that are yet to do so. So it's going to allow you or enable you to be able to try your hands on the various features that we are going to be showing you, and the ones you have already seen in the past, and then learn at your own pace as time goes on. So, as an administrator within an organization, we must be familiar. We must ensure that we are familiar with the key features of OneDrive for Business so that we can better guide and help our users whenever they need our help. Uh, just so you know, I'm not going to be doing a lot of talking. I'm going to be doing more of hands-on. That's more of demo. It's demo or true. And then we are going to start briefly with introducing OneDrive for Business for those of us that does not know what it is, and then we'll talk about the files on demand features. It's just a few key features that you can actually use, and then show your users how to use them, and they will thank you. I'm sure they will thank you for life. One of the features I will be showing is file on demand. And then we'll also be talking about modern attachments. Some of them have been around for a while, but users still don't know how to use some of these things, some of these features. And then we have file extension restriction and exclusion. So there are situations where you want to be able to limit what kind of file user is able to upload into their OneDrive for business. And then we'll talk about storage. As an administrator, you know where to go and probably increase or make adjustments when it comes to OneDrive storage that is available for users across your organization. Then we'll talk about file restore. It's a very key feature for users who at some point might maybe mistakenly delete file without knowing, or even intentionally delete files, and then at the end of the day, after some time they realize they still need those files back. Where do you go to go do restore as a user, and you as an administrator to be able to know where exactly to go to do this? And then we have the recycle bin. We'll talk a little about that as well. And finally, and one of the most important things is file retention, which allow all organizations of all sides to be able to meet compliance regulation, compliance requirement, and some regulation requirement that might be for the organization in terms of when user exit the company. So, yes, we are also going to have a few minutes to, answer whatever question you have for us. So, what is OneDrive for really? OneDrive for Business is a Microsoft Cloud storage service that enable user to be able to access, share, and collaborate on file from anywhere and from any device they are most comfortable with. In a nutshell, I will say, or I take OneDrive for Business as my own personal online storage for the workplace. So when we talk that there are two type of OneDrive, there's the personal aspect that is related, that is associated with your maybe outlook.com, live.com account. But when we say OneDrive for Business, that is the package that is included with the company or organization plan that is purchased, license plan that is purchased for users to be able to work. So OneDrive provides a lot of benefits for organizations of all size. One of the benefits is the ability for users to have access to their file from anywhere at any time, and it also make it available for them to be able to share content and collaborate among staff, among users across different teams and across the organization as a whole. By default, OneDrive for Business or any file stored in OneDrive for Business is for your eyes only. So it means security is the first thing there. So it's for your eyes only. The only time somebody else gets to get access to maybe a single file or a folder within your OneDrive for Business storage is because you have shared it with that person at one time or the other. And each time you share a file, uh, know that there's a set of permission that goes with it. So security with the solution is very, very something that Microsoft does not take lightly. So that way you have control over your own file and control what people do with your file. OneDrive for Business supports files of different type files, over 300 file types actually. So you can, before you can hit a limit of, oh, this particular file type is not supported, I think it's going to be a very long while. And then for the administrators, you are not left behind. You can actually put certain settings on the OneDrive for Business for you, for your users to be able, for you to be able to control and then man how users are using those organization data. And finally, one of the key features is the fact that it is tightly integrated with all other Microsoft Office applications. So, like I said, there's not going to be so much slide show. It's going to be more of demo. So I'm just going to jump right into the demo. Uh, give me a minute. Let me bring up. Okay, so Tosin, I don't know if you can still see my screen. Can you? Hi, Tosin.
Please go ahead. We can see it live.
Okay. So I'm going to be jumping right into the demo now. There's a lot that I would love to show you, but we will take them in bits. Hopefully, we have enough time. Let me put this to full screen. So, okay, I will start right here with a user. I have a user called Party here. This is the user's account. What's happening? So, please give me a minute. Wow. Wow. Okay. I think the screen is frozen. So I got to find an alternative. Where is this? Apologies. I don't know whether it's it's a function of I've been working here since morning and suddenly everything is just okay. See back. Oh no. Demo God. I apologize. My screen just froze. Okay, so apology for that short break. Don't know whether it's my internet. Everything is just becoming slow. Right.
Right. Okay. While I think he's getting to work now. Just let us know. Titi Lope, once it's working. We also apologize. Technology can be like that sometimes. You tried it from your hand, and then it's just not responding when we need it most. Okay, but hopefully, you are getting things sorted out. Right.
It's moving a bit now. I'm really sorry.
Oh, it's fine. While we wait for that, I mean, there are a
Oh,
couple of questions that can be asked. I mean, something like is OneDrive synonymous to, maybe Google Drive? A lot of people are used to Google Drive. They have Gmail accounts, and they wonder, I mean, are they the same thing? I'm quite sure that we have OneDrive personal, we have OneDrive for business. So it's something that you can also clarify for us, why we. Uh,
yes. OneDrive is like the Google Drive as well. Google Drive is also a cloud storage that allow you to be able to access your file, share file from anywhere, while from anywhere using any device. So OneDrive is work exactly the same way, but it give you now uh, um, much more feature from Microsoft in the sense of you have enough storage, you have the sharing ability and the permission that can be set and the security that is put on top of it is a top notch from Microsoft. And then yes, like I said earlier, I said there are two types of OneDrive. There is the personal OneDrive storage that is associated with your um, your outlook.com or your live account or your Ultimate account. That is personal to you. That's just individual or in consumer package of OneDrive. But there is also the one that come with Microsoft 365 licenses. So if you purchase whatever plan you have the business plan, you have the small business, you have the enterprise, whichever plan you have or that you have purchased, you will actually be able to use the OneDrive package within it, and then you are able to consume those plenty storage that is available for you uh, from Microsoft. So I think I'm just going to, one thing I want to show us first is file on demand. File on demand is a feature that allow users to be able to use file from within, that's their OneDrive for business files without without necessarily downloading it to your local machine. So it allows you to be able to store, to be able to save space. So right now I have a folder open. This is my OneDrive that has been synced down
Can
to my
you help
computer,
maybe
and I have
maximize that
this
particular
particular file.
window?
The way it's showing right now, it means I've
Okay.
opened it before. It was, anytime you first sync, you will have it in form of in cloud only. But the moment you click it, it downloads a copy to your computer. But then you can actually set it to say you want the file on the, you want to always use file on demand. So I can convert this one right now. I can convert it to cloud only. When you have file on demand document, they are show, you will see the icon, this icon that is showing as green. It will show as a cloud icon, like the normal OneDrive icon that you have here. So this file right now, I can decide to say I want to free up space. The moment I say I want to free up space, it's going to convert it automatically to cloud only file for me, and you will see immediately the status is going to change.
And is that what you
So
call
you
file on
can see,
demand?
so it has changed the status to cloud. So this means the file is available online only. So the only time you get to open is when I double click it to open. Now this file on demand setting can actually be configured. You can enable it either organization wide, or you enable it for individual user. To enable it for individual users, you will need to go to the OneDrive icon at the bottom right. That's on the tray icon at the bottom right corner of your screen. Right click the OneDrive icon, and then you can click on settings. When you go to settings, you will be able to select on the settings tab. That's the first tab. There's a file on demand setting there. So if I unclick this now, what it's going to do is going to remove all files and folder that has already been downloaded to my PC. It's going to take it off my PC. That way I can free up space. Record that OneDrive for Business have so many storage, up to 5 terabytes, depending on your license type, of course. So let's say I have file up to 40B already in the cloud, and I want to sync down. Meanwhile, my PC is just 500 gig. There's no way it's going to take it. So that's where a file on demand is very, very useful for users within the organization. So this can be set as individual, and you can also set it up from using group policy to be able to roll it out organization wide. One of the other features that I will also be showing us is the modern attachment. Modern attachment allow users to be able to attach OneDrive files, or files that are stored in OneDrive, attach it to email in form of a link. So before now, what we do is we want to work on a particular project. What we do is we attach the file. I work on the file, I finish, I send it to somebody else. So at the end of the day, we have multiple copies of that file. So modern file attachment or smart attachment allow you to be able to centralize the location of that particular file, and everybody can work on the same file at the same time. So now I've opened a new email. I want to attach a file. I will go to my normal attachment icon, click on it, and then the drop down, click on the drop down and start again. Okay, so you see a list of your file. Any file you see with the cloud icon means they are currently stored in your OneDrive. So if I pick one of these files now, right now, it's going to give me the option to choose which one do I want to. Do I want to attach it as a file, as a copy, that's the real file, or I want to just share a link to the file location and people can access it. What I'm going to do, because it's modern attachment I'm talking about, I'm going to select share link. And the moment I select it, it's going to automatically upload a link and it look exactly like attachment. Then it give me even further option. Right now, it say the default it has picked. The default permission is anybody can edit. So I can actually drop down and change the permission. Depending on the permission I pick here, if I pick anyone can edit or view, it means anyone that have access to this image, even if it wasn't meant for you initially, is going to be able to consume it. Then if I pick organization, view or edit, it means only people within my organization will be able to consume this particular file that I'm sharing. And if I pick recipient can edit, that can be a combination of people within the organization and people outside the organization, like partners and vendors. They can work together on this document at the same time. So this is actually how you can make use of modern attachment. Now, there are situations where users are confused on which one to use. An administrator can actually set up the default behavior for file attachment within the organization. One way is to go to the Outlook package of the user, that's the Outlook app, and go to files, then you go to the options, that's options, then you go to general. Right under the general, if you scroll down, you see the attachment options. So you can choose whichever one you want to be the default here. So subsequently, if the user decides to attach a file, it will honor what has been set there. So that is one way. That way you are setting it just for individual. But then you can also configure it. You can deploy it likewise for organization wide. How do you do that? You need to first create a registry setting. So registry setting by going to your stats on then regedit. Type regedit on the start menu, and then type regedit, and then you can click the registry editor. So, but be careful when you are doing that. Is not advisable to always use registry or to edit the registry. So it's very important you know exactly what you are doing. So right now it's taking time, so I wouldn't want to take much of our time. So if it opens, where you go is you go to current user software. Okay, it has opened. So right now I'll go to current user, then I'll go to software and Microsoft, select Microsoft, and then next you select Office, that's the Office package, and you select the version of Office that you're actually using. So mine is 16, and right there, I'll select Outlook because it's Outlook we really want. Outlook setting is what we want to apply here. And I will select preference. Preference, sorry. So within the preference here, I'm going to create a D-word value, and I will set the D-word, put put a name and then set the D word to be either 0, which means always ask me. If I put 1, it's going to be uh, attach the link only. And then if I put 2, it's going to be attach it as a file. So this is how you can set it. Then once you finish, you need to export it and then use group policy to push it to the rest of your users. So that's how you set up modern file attachment within the organization. Now, I'll talk about extension very quickly. There are times where, because our users know that they have so much storage in OneDrive for Business, they want to store the whole world into it. And you have users who download a lot of movies. They like to do music a lot, even their own normal party the party they go weekend, they kind of carry the whole word and then come and put it in the company's storage, even when they know that it's meant for official use. So for such scenario, you will want to maybe set the kind of file that you want to allow within the organization. So to do that, you are going to go to your normal admin, log into portal.office.com or the admin center, then go to SharePoint admin center, and from SharePoint admin center, you go to settings. So under setting, you have a list of settings for both SharePoint and OneDrive. One of the settings there is OneDrive sync. Then when you click the OneDrive sync, it gives you different kind of about three check boxes. So depending on which one we select, it's going to drop down more settings for you. So I'm going to select block upload of specific file type. So when I do this, going to expand a box, pop up a box for me where I will put the different file extension. So each extension that you want to exclude is one line at a time. So if I want to exclude a .exe file, I'll just type exe without the period, without the .exe. And I want to exclude .mp4, I'll just type mp4 without the .mp, without the dots with it. And once I finish typing, I save. And subsequently, users will not be able to upload. However, the time, nothing is going to happen to it. The file will continue to remain in their OneDrive for Business, and it will also sync to their local machine, because this setting is only blocking upload, it's not blocking download of file. But even though the file is still there, what happens is when they make change to that file, maybe from their local computer, the new upload or the new changes that they've made will not be uploaded going forward. That's because we have blocked it. That's just a simple way to restrict file type within Microsoft 365 or within OneDrive for Business. Then one other thing is, I talk about storage. By default,
hello.
every user have 1 terabyte of storage. But recently, Microsoft increased that size to every user within the organization can have up to 5 terabytes of storage to themselves. But then it's still 1 TB by default that is enabled. Only the admin can then increase that size based on users' need. It's not everybody within the organization that will need such large amount of storage initially. So as user need more, you can either go into admin portal, select a user, for instance. Let me say this user, Adele. I want to increase this user's OneDrive for Business storage. I'll go to the user's property, and then
Sorry,
once you
Titilope,
open,
can you hear?
OneDrive
Can you
app
hear me? I have
from
a
the
question.
many tabs that is there, and under the storage, you will see edit. When you click the edit, you are able to select the option of either the user should continue to inherit the setting that is the default setting for the organization, or you will increase it
All
for that
right.
user. And the moment you do that,
Titilope,
anything you do
can
for
you
the
hear
user,
me?
it take effect immediately and override the default setting for that particular user.
Wow. Thank you
However,
very
if you want
much,
to do it
Titilope.
organization-wide, you can actually do that. Right, also from SharePoint, you go to settings as well, and then you will see OneDrive storage limit.
Yeah, thank you, Titilope. It's an amazing session, I must admit. What do you think, Tosin?
Sure, it is. She has so much to tell us that even I do not want our session to end, because there's so much to learn from OneDrive for Business, and I'm sure viewers to ask questions to ask Titilope. So thank you very much,
Yeah.
Titilope, for your time. And as you can see from the comment section, you would see great stuff there. So that's the comment for you, Titilope. Someone is saying, wow, such a great session as well. I can see in the comment section, wonderful. How can I, have a full training kit like the PDF version, and people are saying thank you, Titi Lokpe Belo. I was able to learn a new thing from you. So we are all, happy to have you here, Titi Lokpe. So thank you very much for your time. I don't know if there's question that
I
you
can
would like to
actually not
ask.
hear anything.
Okay, so maybe more or
Oh,
less your network. I mean, before we take questions, I just have something to say, which is one thing that Titi Lopa has highlighted today is the native connectivity between Microsoft 365 applications and services. Noting how OneDrive now integrates with Outlook. You are there rather than sharing the same resources, the same document you are sharing every time, and people's system are getting loaded because they have to download the attachment to work with it. Now, while on cloud, you can share it with them, give them access rights, and they can view or edit depending on the rights you've given to them. That way, you minimize the duplication of documents across the organization and also be able to collaborate more. So while within that email, they can actually edit online and make changes. That is key. And we need to start seeing how OneDrive help us to truly work more collaboratively in an organization. There is a question, I mean, maybe Titi Lokwe can also answer that, asking question around the kits. Wow, thank you guys for the reactions. It's awesome. Thanks, Titi Lokwe can also see that. Right, questions around a training kit or something like that. Please, how can we get full training kit? Sherifat, can you be a bit clear with your question? Do you mean the slide today, or you mean you need a training resource on Microsoft OneDrive so that we can know how to address it?
Okay, so I'm sure we are going to follow up with that in the comment session. But I would say thank you very much, Titilope. We really enjoyed your session. And right now, we are going to take a break. Of course, we're by 5 p.m. West African time. We will continue with the third speaker for today's event. So thank you all. Let's enjoy our break. When we get back, we will definitely continue. Thank you.
Thank you.
Louisa.
All right, all right. Welcome back, everyone. And our next section will be starting exactly 5 p.m. So right now, we have our speaker who will be, talking to us about, dissecting document automation in Power Platform. And I hope you equally enjoy, this session as much as I will also be enjoying the session. So let's get on.
Thanks for inviting me to MCT West Africa Global Bootcamp. So today we will discuss about document automation in Power Automate in Power Platform. Sorry, and so it will take around It will take around how 45 minutes or so. So just stick around, and I just let you know that this is a pre-recorded session because my session timings are big awkward. So on Monday morning, so I requested David that I will pre-record my session, so you will be viewing as a pre-recorded session. So as I mentioned that today we will discuss about document automation in Power Platform. First, I would like to thank all the organizers in our this West Africa Cloud Bootcamp and especially David as well. So yeah, it's a fantastic event. As I'm seeing loads of speakers speaking into this event, and this is the first time I'm speaking to an MCT specific event. So which is kind of like give me a great honor to speak for this event. So okay, so let's I'll move into my second slide. That's about me. My name is, as I mentioned, my name is Shakir Majid Khan. I am a Microsoft certified trainer and Microsoft most valuable professional. I'm an MCT for more than 5 years now, and MVP. I awarded MVP this year in June. Yeah, I'm working as a senior consultant at Uniting Australia, and I'm working so I'm working in Dynamics and Power Platform space. I also have one YouTube channel which is SMK Geeky Speak. So if you can search it on the YouTube and with SMK Geeky Speak, so you will find my channel over there. And you can reach to my Twitter as well. So my Twitter handle is Meet SMK. So you can tweet me and you can visit my site which is shakirmajid.com. All right, so let's move to our next slide. Yeah, so there my whereabouts. So I'm currently based in Sydney, Australia, and and I moved here in Sydney around 5 years ago, and from there onward, I'm working in. I've worked in different organizations, so in telecom to my current one, which is a not for profit. So yeah, so I'm very far away from the Africa, but very close to the hearts. So yeah. Let me go to my next slide. Now let's discuss about the AI in our industrial and in our business related activities. So as you have seen, like there are so many softwares are giving providing the AI capabilities. So in our Power Platform as well, AI is there, and then it's helping us to modify and to uh, to really minimize the human interaction, and to provide a kind of intelligent layer on top of our automated related activities. In our Power Platform, we have a AI builders, which is available for kind of for everyone, and AI is for everyone, and AI is for every app. So it is there, like we can use it. It's based on the subscription as well, and based on the license. So I won't go into the license thing in this in my session, but I will just describe you like what is AI builder and how it is set up between the in the Power Platform. So now let's discuss about the how the AI builder set up in the Power Platform domain. So we have like the four applications within our Power Platform. One is Power BI, another one is Power Virtual Agent, Power Apps, and then the Power Automate. So four application. This application like work closely with Dynamics 365 and then the other related Office 365 product as well. And then if you see on the bottom side on your screen, so you can see that we have a data connectors. We have like within the Power Platform, we have so many data connectors, so it will connect almost every data available within our businesses. And we have now in the middle part we have AI builder, and we have the commentator service. So it's all together like the AI builder can work with all those applications within the Power Platform. Not only and not only those applications, then it's use the data connector, and then it can use the commentator services. So you want like you need to see like the AI builder in the bigger scope of the Power Platform. Yes. So let's goes to our next slide. So like the developing business application is challenging, as you know that we have the applications, and then the requirement to develop it is quite progressing fastly. So nowadays the business user, they have the requirement, and they need to solve that or implement that requirement in a very minimum time. So in order to do that, we have a tool at our hand. In our Power Platform, we have a tool, so where we can work on all those constraints as we have in our uh, Power Platform. So let's discuss about this. We have this budget constraint as well. So we have developer resources. Like we have a budget constraint as an issue. We have a developer constraint, developer resource constraint. So we have don't have that much developer. Then we have a business expectation. Like the business wants to solve that issue or solve that problem in a small time, in a short time. Then we have a paper process. They wants to modernize those paper process. They want to get rid of that paper process. Then we have a very complex processes to solve, like the data can be coming from Azure or from SQL Server, and then we need to pick up that data, and then we need to provide a report into our Excel format, something like that. So we need to we have different these challenges. Then we have IT business partnerships. So because business is paying for usually pay for the IT activities, so we need to be aware that we are going into a good direction, and we are not spending too much time. And then then the business has a confidence on us. Then we have the legacy system. So legacy system maintenance, so we have some legacy system, and then we can't like business can't get rid of those legacy system, but how to interact those legacy system with this new system. So the Power Platform will come into action, and then it can helps to interact with the legacy system. Then we have a shadow IT governance, like people wants to see like how many people are working, and how many people are accessing the data, and who is looking after the data, and who is looking after the processes. So all those data and all those processes needs to be governed. So excuse me. So we have that governance within our Power Platform to look into this. And then if we wants to leverage any existing technology, so we can leverage it by using our Power Platform. And then we have compliance and security as well. So we can put the compliance security on top of our Power Platform. So now let's discuss about Power Apps. So Power Apps is again a very famous application. Once when it was launched, it wasn't seen as a major application which is coming up from the from the Microsoft domain, but it does make an impact in recent years. And then if you have seen, like, Microsoft taken those form-based application, and then provided a Power Apps as a single application where you can create fantastic form-based solutions by using the Power Apps. So you have that leverage to create a very dynamic application which can run on your mobile application, which can be available on your on browser, and then it can cater the requirement to interact with the users who are not in your domain. So if some user are out of your domain, or the external party who wants to add those users into your space, office space, so you can add them to the Power Apps portal. So we have different kind of application within the Power Apps portal. So I will goes into my next slide. So we have, as I mentioned, like, we have a different we have like Office 65, Dynamics 65, Azure integration, more than 2070 data source. Like, the data sources keep on growing. So this number is bit old, so it's keep on growing. So we have a we can create a very tailor made dashboard with chart and with graphs, and then we can have a immerse end-to-end solution, like model driven apps in Power Apps. Again, we have, and then within our Power Apps, we have a unique approach to build our business processes. Like, we have it's an it is been sell out as a low code and no code platform. So you don't require to have a command on any coding application coding technology like C sharp or something else. So if you have some basic understanding of how the logic works, so you can work on the Power Platform and the Power Apps in this case. And then we have a pre-built and custom built connector. So if there is no connector available for your data source, so you can create your own custom connectors. And then we have our data service, rich services with like the AI builders and the portals. Then we have a Dynamics 365, Azure, and Power BI, Microsoft Flows. And as it's mentioned, that is a strong governance and security, and provide you a whole ALM based extensibility as well. Let's go to our next slide. Now we can create a easily custom application on this one. So we can have the as I mentioned, we can create a rich canvas based application. So it just provide you a canvas, so we can drag and drop the controls, and then you can put up the logic, and then it just quickly created on that. In order to save it, so you have a controllers as well, so you can simply distribute it, you can simply publish it by single click. So you won't require any other application to host and to publish it. So it's all there on the Power Apps. And then they had the template for the phones, tablets, and the web. Now talk about the no text, talk about the AI builder, and then again we are coming back to the AI builder. So it is easy to use, it is empowering, and it is extensible. What does that mean? That now, like in the Power Builder, you just go, and then you can just, based on clicking, and providing the relevant data. So you can build the model and then you can train the model. And it is so what the good part is that you don't require any knowledge or any prior knowledge of AI or data sciences or something else. You just go into AI model and you can start creating your model. So it doesn't require any extensive or any knowledge. And the last is extensible. So it can be extensible to Power Platform Dynamics 365. So there are multiple ways to leverage this AI builders into the Power Platform and the Dynamics 365. So once you go into your Power Apps and your Power Automate, so on your screen on the left hand side is the left hand side is the left, or the right hand side is your Power Apps, and then you have Power Automate at your end. So you can see like the Power Builder, AI Builder is there with two or three AI build or models section, and on your Power Automate site you have AI Builder option as well. So you can create a model over there, and then you can train the model. Let's go to our next slide. So we have different models available, and then there are some pre-built models, and there are some models which you have to train the model, and then it can be ready, and some of the models are ready to go. So point and click AI solution. So that's what I mentioned, and just like picking some models and checking it, and then it will be available for you. So it is quite good. And then you have some models at your end that you just need to click on it, and then you can use it at your end. And it is quite easy to use it. So let's what I will do in our case, because we are discussing a document automation. I haven't come to the document automation, but we will take one example of the AI builder, and that we will be using into our AI builders, into our document automation. So what will happen that uh, we will be using form processing. So form processing is like consider that you have some invoices at your end, or some form at your end, and to you want to look into the paper based form, and then pick up some values into your into from that from that form. So in order to do that, what you need to do, that you have to so what you will do, that you will use form processing within our AI builder, and then train that model. And when the model is being trained, so you can use that model into your application. So what I will do that now, I will show you some model into our in our in my next slide. And and I'll show you how to create the form processing AI model into from the AI builder. All right, so what we will do, that we come to our office.com. So as you can see, I have I'm signed in from the Shakir Majid user, so I can show you this. I've signed in from the Shakir Majid, and the Shakir Majid is coming up over here. And if you can see, So what I will do that I will goes into my power apps, so I can goes into power apps from here. So when I click on the power apps, it will open the power apps for me. And as you can see, it has showing me AI builders on the left hand side. So it have this build option. When I click on the build, it will show me the multiple processes we have, multiple models we have in our AI builders. So let's just wait for it. Yes, taking some time. It does take some time. Yep. So it's not loading. So I'm running a test account. So I'm running a trial account. So you can use that trial and you can give it a go. And once it is satisfied your requirement, so you can look into how to like purchase it. Like you can even within your organization, you can like show it to the user, show it to your team, and show it to the user that it can do this thing, and they might come up that okay, we want this AI builders within our organization. So what I will do that I will click on this form processing, and I'll mention as MCT West Africa and invoices. So I just put it this one. So let me create this one. So in this one, what we will do that we have some examples at our end, and we upload those examples, and then we just create those examples, create the data, create the tag for that values, and then we train the models to extract those values. So what I will do that I will show you how I will show you a couple of examples over here, and then we can take it from there. So as you can see, we have one. I have one example as an invoice for the Contoso. So as you can see, like there are a couple of there are many available information over there, like the invoice number, and then the date as well, and then the due date, and then the balance as well, balance due item, and within this item, within this table, I have multiple information like quantity, amount, and rate, and then the title of this item. So and then we have a subtotal, tax, shipping, and total as well. So I want to grab all those requirements. So what I need to do that I will go into, I have this example and I have another example, so I'll show you over here. So as you can see, I have another example of the invoice. So we have two kind of invoices. One is for editum. So you can see like I have very similar kind of information. I want like the invoice number and the date, and then the subtotal sales tax and subtotal sales tax and total, and then with the similar kind of table structure we have. So what I will do that I will create I will train this form processing. First I will identify the values, and then we upload a document, upload similar documents to train it, and then once it's trained, then we can test it. So what I will do that I will just goes into my site. Yep. So what I will do that I'll just create some one as a invoice number. Create one field as invoice number, and then another field as uh, total date, uh, total total, and I'm using the field right now, subtotal. So I just keep it for the one for the main one, and for the item within our invoice. So what I will do that I will create a single page table over here, or I'll mention as a item, and then the title I'll mention as a title. This will be our quantity, this will be our rate, this will be our amount. So this will be amount, add and done. Okay, so what I will do, I will go to next one, and I'll just create let's say create new collection. I'll name it as a contoso. I will add another one, and I'll mention as a editum. And so I will add documents over there. So I have some sample document for editum and contoso. So I think I've clicked on editum. Yeah. So I will add the editum file. I will use editum, and then if you see, just say train it. So I need to first train this model. So I select this one. Upload 5 documents, close it, and I will go the same thing, and then upload 5 document in the contoso one, and contoso one, train it, number 5, open it and upload it, and then close. So then I click on the next. I need to train train my model based on the values, based on the tags we have created. So this is the invoice number, and so like if you see, it's pick up the date as well. So it is quite it does know that where is the value. So it is so this is our date, and this is our total. I just said this is our total, and this is our subtotal, and these are our items. So items, and I just say items, and I goes into advanced triggering. So if you see, I have so this is our title. For the title we use this one, title, and then this is quantity, and this is rate, and this is our amount. And if you see, I'll do the same thing for the other stuff. This is quantity, this is rate, and this is amount. I've put it done. So I've done the I've done this document. So I goes into next one and do the same thing. So
Okay, hello everyone. I think we're going to, pause there for Majid Khan. Of course, I'm sure we have enjoyed his training so far. Sheikh Majid Khan has actually been into the Power Platform, SharePoint. He's an Office 365 evangelist, for over 15 years. And of course, he started his career 2007. You can tell from the way he, handling his session. He actually switched from the SharePoint technology in 2008, and he spent days in and out working with advocating for SharePoint as well as Microsoft technologies. Now, Majid represents in numerous events like the Office 365 Virtual Marathon, the Light Up Conference, the SharePoint Saturday Dubai, SharePoint Saturday Sri Lanka, the Global Automation Bootcamp, the Microsoft Reactor event, the Microsoft Innovation Center Karachi. Is also an active contributor on his blog, which you can see the link on the screen. screen, as well as that on YouTube. And you've just listened to Majid Khan dissecting the document automation in Power Platform. I'm sure we all enjoyed that because I did. And of course, I'm sure Majid would also be able to add to his bio that he participated in MCT West Africa Bootcamp 2021. And of course, I'm happy to have him. So without wasting much time, we are going to go ahead to, take another break. And I don't know if you have any question before we go on break now. Any question? Probably you have question for Majid. I'm going to check the comment section. Oh, someone said, please, can you upload his record on the YouTube channel? Okay, I'm sure we will be able to, do that possibly after the event. Okay,
Yeah.
thanks for asking. We will be able to do that. Okay, so just watch out. We will have a session uploaded. It's really powerful. Yes, we had to cut him short because of time, but uploading a session, you have it handy. All right, so let's take a break, and when next we'll be coming back by 5:40 p.m. West African time, and we'll continue with Microsoft Viva connection, setup, and extend the SPFX. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'm sure you're also looking forward to that. So please let's enjoy our break. When we get back, we will continue.
Yeah, bye.
All right, all right. Welcome back. And this particular session, no, I'm started already because this you don't want to miss. Okay, I have here already the speaker for the next session. Okay, I have them ready to give us that wonderful session. Okay, so the next speaker is Nandip Nachan, and Nandip is a result-oriented technology architect with experience in Microsoft technologies, especially in SharePoint, okay, as well as Microsoft Azure and .NET. Is experienced in design, implementation, configuration, and maintenance of several large-scale projects. Is an author of different books, the Mastering SharePoint Framework. It's Amazon bestseller. You may want to check that out. Understanding Hybrid Environment in SharePoint 2019 April. That too is something you might want to check out. And today it will be talking on Microsoft Viva Connection, setup and extend with SPF. Now, the interesting thing about this is, I'm sure with regards to music, you would hear when they say, oh, there's a duo. Okay, now for this particular talk, there is also a duo. So it's not just Nandip here. I also have Smita Nachan. That's really amazing. Now, Smita here is also a certified Scrum Master. She's certified in SharePoint. She's a SharePoint professional with over 13 years experience in design, implementation, configuration, maintenance of large scale project as well. She focuses on architectural design and implementation, just like Nandip, website design and development, and as well as complete application development cycle with intense focus on SharePoint and Office 365. Now, that's to tell you what we're about to listen to. It's as great as wanting to get up from your seat. Now, this Smita is a frequent speaker at various community events, including the SPF, the Global Microsoft 365 Developer Bootcamp as well. So let me go ahead to welcome them. Hello, Nandip. Hello, Smita. Great
Hey,
to have you
hello.
here.
Yeah, nice to interact
Hello.
with you. Hello. I hope you can hear me well, see me. I have my camera turned on and even see my screen.
All right, loud and clear. We can
Yeah.
hear you and we can see you.
Okay,
Okay.
great, great. Right.
All right, so the stage is yours.
Oh, all right. Thank you. Thank you for that nice introductions. And hello all. Welcome to MCT West Africa Bootcamp 2021. I hope you are enjoying this entire bootcamp. And our session is specifically about the Microsoft Viva connections. So I don't have to explain what is Viva connections because it is the newest Microsoft employee experience platform, or what we call it as a EXP solution. So in this session, we will see how we can quickly set up that Viva connection experience, and then how we'll be able to extend that with SPFX. So the agenda for this session is we will have a quick overview of Microsoft Viva. So for example, if you haven't got a chance to look at Viva, then we will specifically target the Viva Connections module out of it, and then we will extend that particular module to how we can get set up ourselves onto the Microsoft Viva Connections, as well as once we have it set up, how we will be able to extend that using SharePoint framework, which is SPFX. So. A quick introduction of me, myself Nandadeep Nachan. I'm Microsoft MVP for Office Apps and Services, Microsoft Certified Trainer, author of couple of books. I'm from Pune, India. And then on to the right hand side, here are a few of the social media handles through which you will be able to get in touch with me. And with me today is Smita.
Hello all, myself Smita Nasan. I am from Pune, India. I'm working with Tieto as a lead software engineer. I'm MVP and MCT. I'm author of one book, and these are some of my social handles by which you can get in touch with me. So now let's see this hybrid working and the challenges. So now most of you already know that many organizations across all industries have shifted to remote and hybrid work. So this change they presents new opportunity and challenges. So organizations are finding a ways of how to make this new world of work more sustainable for their people, for their employees. So this requires transforming traditional models of work and culture. So, hybrid work is becoming a new norm across many industries. So, creating a great employee experience is more challenging than ever nowadays, and people feel stressed and disconnected. So, employees want to feel more connected. Leader needs a modern way to engage with their employees. IT needs to quickly enable modern employee experience without replacing their existing systems. And to address these issues, company requires a new approach and new category of technology solutions called as employee experience platform exp. So to meet these needs, Microsoft has created Microsoft Viva, an exp that empowers people and teams to be their best from virtually anywhere. So let's see this Microsoft Viva overview. What is this exactly meaning of this Microsoft Viva? So Microsoft Viva brings together communications, knowledge, learning, resources, and insights into an integrated experience that empowers employee and teams to be their best from anywhere. So, powered by the full breadth and depth of Microsoft 365, it is experienced through Microsoft Teams and other Microsoft 365 apps that people use every day. So Microsoft Viva will include the four modules: the Viva Connection, Viva Insights, Viva Learning, and Viva Topics. So let's see one by one. So first one is the Viva Connections. So Viva Connection provides a curated, personalized, and company branded experience that centralizes relative news and conversations. So Viva Connection provides a single entry point for employee engagement and internal communications. This can be referred as a gateway to your digital workplace. So Viva Connection is built on Microsoft 365 capabilities like a SharePoint to provide a curated and branded employee destination. So leaders can connect with employees via company town hall, and employees can access everything from company news, policies and benefits to employee resource groups or communities that they want to join with Microsoft Viva's integration to Yammer. So let's see the second one is Viva Insights. So Viva Insight gives individual managers and leaders the personalized and actionable privacy oriented insight that help everyone in an organization thrive. So it brings a new personal well-being experiences, insights and recommended actions from workplace analytics and my analytics into the flow of people's work in Microsoft Teams. So the third one is a Viva Learning. So the Viva Learning helps make learning a natural part of both every employee's daily work and company culture. So with Viva Learning, employees can easily discover and share everything from training courses to micro learning content. And the last one is the Viva Topics. So Viva Topics enables you to harness the knowledge of your organization and connect people to that knowledge. So Viva Topics is like a Wikipedia with AI superpowers for your organization. So when employees click on a card topic page appears with the documents, videos, and related people. So Viva Topics also surfaces information from third-party services like ServiceNow and Salesforce. So now let's see how to set up and launch Viva Connections. So Microsoft Viva Connection is a desktop and mobile experience that brings together relevant news, conversations, and resources in one place for your organization. It's built on your current Microsoft 365 ecosystem and powered by SharePoint to help you to engage, inform, and empower your hybrid workspace. So the Viva Connection experience is deployed and accessed in Microsoft Teams. So use this steps by steps instruction to help you to set up and launch the Viva connection on desktop and mobile devices using currently available features to create an engaging user experience.
Okay, so now that let's get through these each of these steps. We have around 8 steps, so we'll cover them quickly so that we will have at the end of the session Viva connection ready for us to use and extend. So the step number one, which is very important, is prepare your intranet. So you can prepare your intranet by ensuring the internet content and the flow of information is in order. Again, a well planned and well executed internet hub or sites are important elements to ensure that you get best from your Viva connections. And when you set up Viva connections, global navigation in SharePoint app bar and navigation on SharePoint home site will impact the overall Viva connection experience. And while working to prepare your internet, align with your stakeholders to define your top scenarios that can be supported through Viva connections. So this is the plan that we can go through. So first one is prepare. So firstly, prepare your home site and global navigation design. Second step here is to modernize sites as well as the pages, because only modern SharePoint site and pages can be viewed in Microsoft Teams. And third thing is to consider whether you will need any kind of a multilingual support. So for example, your organization is supporting various other languages, even to carry out that. So first thing that we will need is certain kind of an permissions here. So either you should be a SharePoint administrator or maybe a global administrator with higher privileges, so that you will be able to create a home site as well as hub sites if required. Even you can be a site owner of your home site, or at least site owner and a member permissions are required to customize your site level navigation. So the second part, which is a bit optional, but still will be good to consider. So, for example, the hub site. So, hub site complements the search experience by helping you discover information in the context. And one of the biggest challenges with internet design is figuring out how the internet navigation should be organized. And in the new world where all of the teams and communication sites are peer site collections, all of those information architecture must think about creating experience that will allow internet users to find what they need in multiple find kind of scenarios. So as an example, we can have one site as a hub site. We can probably call it as a HR hub, and then it will be associated with many of the different other site, which will probably pointing to benefits or pay and compensation, talent acquisition, performance management, and all those things. So here we can have that kind of an hub site created, which we will be able to promote to our Viva connections.
So now let's see how we can designing a home site in a SharePoint. So a home site is a SharePoint communication site that acts as a front door to your organization's intranet and has special capabilities such as the ability to prioritize news posted from the home site across the rest of the intranet. So when you deploy Viva connection, your SharePoint home site becomes the intranet landing experience inside of Microsoft Teams. So consider using the landing template in the SharePoint lookbook to get a head start. So some of the important things you have to consider: a SharePoint home site is required to set up Viva connection. Home sites are generally high traffic sites that could be optimized for performance. And to get started, if your organization does not already have a home site, then you have to plan for a home site. Then set the home site in the SharePoint Admin Center. You have to make sure that you have to share the home site with everybody in your organization. And when it's come to the permission level, so the SharePoint administrator or higher can create a home site.
Okay, so now that let's get into a demo, like how we can prepare ourselves or prepare our internet. So first thing, what we will look into, we can just have a team site or a communication site. But for example, if you don't have anything in your mind, or at least you haven't prepared your internet yet, you can consider to have a look at the SharePoint lookbook and then all of the templates which are available there. So for that purpose, what I will do is I will go back to the browser, and if you haven't had a look at the lookbook, so you can just type this URL in the browser, lookbook.microsoft.com, and here we have various designs available for SharePoint, through which we'll be able to create nice looking professional SharePoint sites in a minutes. So based on your scenarios, where whether you want to create it for organization, department, team, community, or schools, or even certain kind of an customized solutions, you can choose that category and go ahead. The one which we were mentioning is this landing page, which will give you a personalized content, news, and resources kind of a thing. So what you can do probably is just select the one which you think better for your organization, click on that, and then there will be one form for you to fill in. Once you click on add to your tenant, you can just specify where you want to get that site created, and then that site will be ready for you. So what I did now is, okay, so here you will be able to provide that email address, the site title, URL, and just click on provision. It will take certain time based on the solutions as well as the web parts, pages, and the other content in the site. So generally this site takes around 5 to 7 minutes to create based on the complexity it has got. So what we have done is, we have created that site upfront, so I can just browse you to that particular site. So this is the site that we have, and then this is the out of the box look and feel that we have from the SharePoint lookbook. So for example, if you haven't created any of these, probably consider this landing page template to get started. And then for example, if you want to keep it simple, even you can follow the experience of click on create, either create a team site or a communication site, and then it can be even used in your Viva connections. So this is how we'll be able to create the SharePoint site very quickly if you haven't created that earlier. And then we will see how we'll be able to surface this in Viva connections. So with that, let's see how we can enable SharePoint app bar and global navigation.
So the SharePoint app bar allows users to find the important content and resources and dynamically displays personalized sites, news, and files. So the Viva connection uses elements from the SharePoint app bar and a global navigation for the desktop and the mobile experiences. So the SharePoint app bar elements will display in a Microsoft Teams. The access point is highlighted in a red box in this image above and includes this global navigation, follow sites, and recommended news. So on mobile devices, Viva Connection uses the global navigation for the resource tab. So again, the important things you have to consider that your app bar is not set up, you won't see a global panel in the desktop experience and a global navigation resources in the resources tab of the Viva Connection app will not display. And the second one is a home site is required before you can enable and customize the SharePoint app bar. So when it comes to the permissions, so the site owner or the higher permissions to the home site are required to enable and customize global navigation in a SharePoint app bar.
So now that let's have a demo of it, like how we'll be able to enable global navigation and SharePoint app bar. So again, for that reason, I will go back to the SharePoint admin center. So once you are onto the SharePoint admin center, what you can do is just click on this settings, and here we have something called as a global navigation, or at least this is the place from where we'll be able to set the home site. But before that, let's see how we'll be able to even create the global navigation. So from here you can go to, or okay, what we can do previous to that is probably we will try to promote this particular site as a home site in SharePoint. So for that reason, what I will do is, again, we went to this settings. Here we do our home site, and then here we can just simply put the link to our site, and then it will just validate that whether this site can be set as a home site. So here we can, so just click on save, and then this site will be promoted as a home site. So again, let's say for example, if you want to validate whether that site has been set as home site or not, again click on this home site, and then you'll be able to see that the change has been reflected, and now that this particular site is a home site. If you want to take it away, click this crossbar or remove this home site, and then again you will be able to promote any of the other site as a home site. So generally it takes around 10 minutes for the home site to get into the effect. But let us see if that has happened, because sometimes it takes maybe just few seconds, sometimes it takes some more time. But even as of now you can see that this hasn't taken the effect yet, and then we still, or maybe I just want you to pay attention on this settings menu that we have got. Once this uh, home site will be set as the actual home site, we'll be able to see certain more information here, like the global navigation and the other part. But meanwhile we can walk through the other PPT, and then we will come back to this point later. So the fourth point here is to create a dashboard. So this dashboard brings it all together. It provides a personalized landing experience, and it is designated by a central destination where everyone can discover your organization's resources and complete daily tasks. Even you can apply the audience targeting to dashboards cards to give your users an experience tailored to their roles as well as their interest. And then once you set up the dashboard, you will be able to use the dashboard web parts onto the home site. Again, the site editor or higher permissions will be required here for you. But this is how the dashboard will look, and then let's have a look at into dashboard. Yeah.
So the Viva Connection dashboard enables you to create a curated experience using a dashboard cards that give you employees access to their most critical content and tools. So these cards are designed to enable a quick task completion either by interacting with a card directly or by opening a quick view in the dashboard. So think of the Viva Connection dashboard as a digital toolset for your employees. So the Viva Connection dashboard is available on the mobile platform like iOS and Android in the Viva Connection Teams app and on the desktop as a web part. So this web part can be integrated in a SharePoint home site, which then is exposed as a part of Viva Connection for desktop experience in a Teams. So now let's see this dashboard authoring. So a dashboard is authored in a SharePoint home site or on a dashboard page. A site editor can create the dashboard, add the cards in the site and the layout of choice, and target the cards to the specific audiences.
Okay, so now let's get into the demo. Let's see how we will be able to create those dashboard. But yeah, before that, let's get back to our SharePoint site, and let's see if we have some more options appearing here. So right now we just have few options to work with, and as I said, once you have your site been designated as the home site, we will definitely have few more options here to play around. So okay, looks like this one is still taking some more time. Let me just refresh it one more time. Otherwise, I can go back to the other tenant that I have specifically designed for this demo, because generally it takes around 5 to 10 minutes. But yeah, now you can see that we have that effect, and here you should be able to see these two menus which we were talking about. So first one is this global navigation. Second one is this setup Viva connections. So once your site has been promoted to global site, only on that particular site you will be able to see these two menus. So just firstly let's get into this global navigation. Click on the global navigation, and from here you can turn on this global navigation. If you want to have your own logo, you can upload that, which will appear when you will have this particular site being seen in the Viva connections. And then again, you can decide whether you want to have the navigation source as a home site navigation, which is this site's navigation, which we have currently, like home documents and other part. Let's keep it very simple there itself. And then again, if you have any of the hub or a global navigation setup, even you will be able to use that. So just to keep it very simple, we will go ahead with this home site navigation. So at least we now have our global navigation setup. The next part here is about the dashboard. So click on the settings, and here we have option for setup Viva connections. And from here you will be able to see option to create a dashboard. So just click on create dashboard. It will take you to a new page, which will be again specific to mobile as well as desktop experience. So here we will be able to create certain card, or will be able to author the card. So once you click on add a card, all of the cards which can be added here for Viva connections can be seen here. So let's say for example, you can add a web link, or even you can click on this edit, so that you will be able to specify any of the link here, card title here. So I will just say it as my title, just to keep it very simple. And then again, probably we will have our SharePoint admin site as the site link here, and then card description, something like some description. And then again, if you want, you can have the thumbnails and card icons kind of a thing. This one is auto selected. If you want to choose your custom one, even those can be done. Again, feel free to add more cards, and then again, you will be able to play around with those. But probably we will keep it very simple. Again, this one is a desktop experience. So again, in a desktop experience, it is the same thing, that you will be able to add few more things here. At the same time, you can click on this. This is a card size. For example, if you set it to large, it will take some more space onto your screen. If it is a medium, it will take some smaller size onto the screen. So just to keep it very simple, we will publish it, and then we will, let's move to the next part.
So now let's see how we can get the content ready for your feed with SharePoint News and Yammer. So in the Viva Connection app, user will see a feed that is personalized with relevant content personalized to them. So the feed automatically balances the refresh and engaging the content with the corporate communications to keep the user engaged. So while also ensuring that the user see the most important messages. So the feed requires usage of modern SharePoint and either SharePoint News or a Yammer community. So for the best and most engaging experiences, you can use the both. So we recommended creating or using an existing organization news site so that the users get the most important news. So here are some of the tips for you. So in Yammer, target the conversations you want to display in the feed by using a Yammer boost and features option on Yammer community pages. So use this news boost to elevate SharePoint news and announcement into priority position in the feed. Use these video news links in SharePoint to create an engaging view experience in the feed. Use the feed web part to display personalized news and announcement to viewers on the home site. When it comes to the permission, so the permission requires to create a Yammer community vary depend on your organization and the permission required for the SharePoint news. So to create an organization news site, you need a SharePoint administrator permissions, and to create a new story, you need page edit permission or the higher.
Okay, so now the step number 6 is we need to get this app added to Microsoft Teams. So after we have prepared our internet for Viva connections in SharePoint, we are ready to add the Viva connections app in Microsoft Teams admin center, and then we can add the Viva connections app and then customize the app settings to add probably your organization's logo, probably pre-install or pre-pin that app for your end users. So with that, let's see like how we will be able to do that. So what I will do is, let's get into the demo. Let me go there. So right now I'm into the Microsoft Teams admin center, and under Teams management, you will be able to see manage apps. So this is the place from where we'll be able to see all of the apps. And then I just have filtered out on Viva. So right now you can see that we have at least three apps available for Viva: Connections, Insights, and Learning. So by default, they all will be blocked. So just click on this icon or the status here to get it enabled for your organization. So right now this one is allowed. So if you want to read out some more information, it is here. But again, if you want to go ahead and customize this, click on customize, or even click on this pencil icon here, and then from here you will be able to customize the look and feel for your Viva connection. So for example, if you want to add any of your specific logo which you want there to appear, or any of the outline icon, or any of the accent color, you will be able to do that. But the major important thing here is that it should be allowed. Okay, so with that, let's get into the next part, like what are those mobile experiences for Viva Connections app.
So the Viva Connection app creates a custom app in a Microsoft Teams that fits the needs of your organization. So your organization custom app will appear as a branded company app in a Microsoft Teams App Center. So once the app is added, your organization icon will appear in a Teams app bar in the desktop and the mobile Teams experiences. So user won't see the app by default if you don't pre-install or pre-in. So when it comes to the permissions, so the site editor or higher permissions you require. So let your users know how to access and use this Viva connection. So some of the end user guidance which help make end users aware of this new resource and provide guidance on what icon in the team app bar is your organization instance of the Viva connection. Then it helps the end users to understand how to use the desktop experiences.
Okay, so now that let's see how we'll be able to enable this Viva for everyone. So what we can do is probably we can go into the setup policies here. Sorry, I just clicked on the permission policies. Let it still load. Okay, we will go to the setup policies, and here we can go to the global policy, and then from these policies we'll be able to see, or we'll be able to promote any of the apps that we want to be there as the pinned app. And now that we just have done this prior, and this app is right now pinned. So for example, if you want to pin any of the app, what we can do is just click on add apps, search for that particular app, which is the Viva app in our case, and then here you will be able to see the add button. Click on that, and then that particular app will be available as a pinned app. So what is meant by that pinned app is, right now I'm into the Microsoft Teams or Microsoft Teams experience for this particular tenant. Once we refresh this onto the left hand side, we should be able to see all of our personal apps, and it might again take some time, and this app will be here. But what we can do is probably I will directly try to add this from here, and that experience will take at least 10 or 15 minutes to get reflected. But I will go ahead and try to add this app directly for us, so that will save on some time. And at least this is how it will look when it will be pinned. So it will get pinned at the top, and then this is how the entire experience will be when your Viva connections is ready to use. So now that from here you can see that this is nothing but your SharePoint home site that we had prepared, and now that we are able to see that here. So all of our things are here. But one more thing is, let's say for example we had created this dashboard, and we want this particular dashboard to appear on our homepage. What you can do is you can quickly go to your homepage, click on edit, and from here we'll be able to add that dashboard onto our homepage. So I'll just click on this plus icon, and here we have this dashboard for Viva connection. So let's click on that, and you can see that all of our connections or all of our cards which we had onto the dashboard, we will be able to see it here. So we'll just get it
Wow.
republished, and again, oh yeah, I know
Yes.
it is almost time, but yeah,
Hello.
sure.
Yes, I was equally enjoying that. I did not want the session to end, and
Yeah.
I'm sure it's the same for everyone, watching us right now. In fact, there's a question, that
Oh yeah.
just came in, and this viewer said, "Thanks for the great session so far. Just a quick question. which of the M365 license comes with favor? I think this person wants to know. I don't know if you are able to help us answer that quickly.
Correct. So at least right now, Viva connections, specifically about the Viva connections, it is generally available. So there are no licensing associated with Microsoft Viva. But again, for example, if you are going for Viva Insights, in that case, you will need a license, which is right now is a workplace analytics license. But again, the other two modules like Viva Learning, Viva Connections, and Viva. Oh, I forgot the last one. So at least those are free. But if you see only this Insights has got, oh sorry, Insights and Topics, they both have got licenses associated with that. So you can go to your M365 admin center. From there you can purchase that license, and it is available on top of E5 license. Okay,
All right,
so if you just
great.
go to the licenses tab, there you will be able to see that. Yep, sure.
Okay, I'm sure you had Nandip for that. So if
Hmm.
you have E5 license, of course, you can get Microsoft Favorite. So
Yeah,
thank you so
yeah,
much. I
sure.
really enjoyed your time. There's great
Yeah,
comments
true.
here. I'm seeing here I'm gaining a lot from this session. Interesting session. Thank you, Smita. Thank you, Nandip. Thank
Yeah,
you,
thank
Yeah,
you.
Nachance, and also everybody is happy to be in your session. I'm equally happy as well. So thank you very
sure, sure.
much for your
Yeah,
time.
thank you very much for having us. I know that because of the time limitation, we were not able to do the entire thing. But again, here are a few of the social handlers. So if you have any queries related to Teams, SharePoint, or Viva, please feel free to get in touch with us. Yeah. But yeah, again, thank you very much for inviting us here.
All right, thank you. Thank you,
Yeah,
Smita. Thank you, Nachan.
Yeah, thank
yeah,
you.
All right.
yeah. Thanks
Yeah,
all. Take care.
bye.
Yeah. See you soon.
Okay, so bye.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, welcome back. And right now we'll be taking a break. Okay, so when we get back, we would continue with the last session for the day. So, the last session here, we'll be talking about the Microsoft Power Platform for Africa's healthcare and SDGs. Don't forget, if you have not completed the session evaluation, please go ahead and do so such that you can get a chance of winning amazing prizes, including the Xbox. I'm saying that again. I wish I could win that, but automatically, I'm not qualified to. So please get on your handle and complete the session evaluation. Please enjoy your break. Welcome back, everyone. And of course, we are almost there. So, this is our last speaker for today. Of course, she's the last but not the least. Okay. And exactly 6:20 p.m. West African time, we would have our speaker come up to, tell us about Microsoft Power Platform for Africa's healthcare and SDG. So, we will be having here Ezine, talk to us about that. Now, Ezine believes local data communities can bridge, the existing gap in the data for all mandatory cross-sector collaboration and inclusive data literacy programs. Now, Ezine recently hosted the United Nations World Data Forum Abuja City Meetup. She's interested in how Africa's healthcare sector is leveraging technology for emerging response. I'm sure you are looking out, to hear from Azine. So this is great. This is something you don't want to miss. Okay, so while we are waiting for the speaker to join us, I'll just take a moment to talk about this Xbox once again. I'm sorry, I'm making emphasis on this. This is something I really wish I could participate and win. I think it's something I've been saving up for, and if I get the chance to win one, I know that would be great. Unfortunately for me, I don't have, that channel. Should I say I'm not eligible to win? But you all are. And what you have to do is go ahead, complete the session evaluation for the chance to win this Xbox. Now, not just Xbox, we also have amazing prizes, and I would encourage you to please participate, complete the session evaluation. Okay, so you can just give us a minute while we wait for our speaker, Izene. All right. Thank you very much, and of course, welcome, Ezine. Great to have you here. Hello. Kindly unmute so that we can hear you. Ezine, please unmute so that we can hear you. Okay, it's time for your session, and we can't wait to,
Oh,
hear
can
what
you
you
hear me?
have for us. Loud and clear. Yes, I can hear you.
Thank you so much. I'm really sorry for the delay.
It's fine.
No
It's
excuses,
fine.
but
We can't. We
network. I
can't
had to
wait.
switch network.
we
I'm
can.
sorry.
We can't wait to hear from you. Please, the stage is yours.
Okay, so welcome everyone to my session. I have been following the program since it started. I mean, I tried as much as possible. Akwaba Ghana, Ekabo, Kekwanu, my people. So this is about Africa. My session is about how MCT um, community can help to drive Africa's healthcare, okay, towards the sustainability goals. And I know that and before now, we have spoken a lot about the different parts of the different Microsoft technologies that are open to us. We have also spoke about even deployment guidelines and everything that's from day one. So I'm going to quickly rush, and I'm not going to waste a lot of time. Please let me know if you can see my screen. Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes, we're able to see your screen.
My
Currently showing
PowerPoint.
us
My
um,
PowerPoint.
not PowerPoint. What we're looking at right now is your Teams or
Okay, let me go
browser,
back
rather.
to share. Let me go back to share again.
All right. You can see your browser.
Yeah, let me go back to share. Okay, so welcome to my session. My name is Ezin Nochionye. I am the data community leader for Data Now Africa. So I think they must have said a bit of my profile. Recently, we hosted the United Nations World Data Forum Abuja meetup in order to bring the inclusive event to people of Abuja. And see, ever since I did that project, I have been so keen on understanding Africa's healthcare and how how it's achieving the SDGs. Okay, so I looked across the different African countries that we have and what is the progress that they are having, the progress that they are having, they're achieving at the moment. And I have made some discoveries. Okay, I made some discoveries I'm going to share with you today. And I think at the end of my session, by the end of my session, we should think about certain things. We will know of those things. So Africa's healthcare sector, there's been a bit of changes, right? Um, we just had the post COVID happen to the world, and we see Africa being on the spotlight for handling the COVID-19 um, virus. So, and this because Africa has been doing quite a lot on disease control. You know, we had Ebola and we had some other outbreaks. We'll be able to build some system around that. So when COVID hits, it was a little much easier. So now there is a rise. There's always been a rise in mobile health innovations across sub-Saharan Africa, and it's evident in South Africa, Kenya, Ghana, Nigeria, Uganda, and Gambia. Now I know this about MCT West Africa. So some of the countries there are not in West Africa. So that's something to note. We have to also scale this program to reach our brothers. Now, there's also been increased demand for healthcare equity. Um, the private sector is not enough to deliver um, the best, public health services for most people. So, and then I think this demand also is all over the world, in the UK, in the NHIS, even in Canada. There's a lot of drive on healthcare equity. Now, there's also the need to reduce costs on health solutions, because it can be quite expensive to run health institutions. And then, of course, for public health sector, it's much subsidized. Now, then there's also I found an increased focus on healthcare data. People are more interested in their data now. They want to know what is NCDC showing. Uh, what do they want to know whether they can trust it, the data, or even know if they are parts of that data that is being viewed. So there's a lot of look, and there's a lot of focus, by the citizens or people, about how much people are spending, which hospital is spending how much, or which how much money has been pumped into which district hospital. There's a lot more awareness amongst the people and even in government. Now, also, there is now need for intelligent response health system, because we not just the COVID-19 pandemic, we also have other public health issues like gender-based violence, okay, and domestic violence, and a lot um, I think there are other epidemic problems that we're having, like the Lassa virus and the rest, but they are more subdued than HIV as well. So there is need for intelligent response system when there's an outbreak, or there is a critical public health safety issue. So now, and so this means that the public health sector has to collaborate with private people, private technology companies like Microsoft, okay, and then these health systems that needs to be resilient also has to be interoperable, meaning different systems should be able to communicate. Okay, so I'm going to move. So I also discovered that there's this is evidence. I mean, if you're from Africa, this is a problem that we have. Anywhere you go in Africa, we have weak infrastructure to support fast and responsive emergencies. Like, take for instance NEPA, electricity is not constant like that, and there's a lack of healthcare services, right? So, for instance, public health sector, primary healthcare centers are supposed to be the first call when you are sick, but people go to the district hospital, and then the list becomes long, and then you don't have enough doctors to attend to many people. So that's an issue, a big issue, because if you attend a district hospital, take for instance the Maitama or Socorro Hospital, you should actually be going to your primary healthcare center to have the first care, first line care to you. Then if it's a complicated issue, you're going to be directed to the district. But that's not what is obtainable. Is either you're going to district hospital or you're going to a private care. So now, then there's this. If you observe, we are all young people. We should notice that there's what is called the medical migration. Most people that are in the medical profession have been to leave Nigeria, and it's not just in Nigeria, also Africa, South Africa, and some. I think Kenya. They also are. They are feeling the brunt of this issue. Many people in the medical services are leaving. So it means that we're left with fewer medical people to attend to issues, and meaning that there's never going to be a long list. Okay. So now we also have inadequate government policies to foster interoperability of critical health systems. So how are health systems speaking, to each other, right? There has to be like legal framework, and like data framework and private data privacy framework to guide health systems, um, health facility providers in communicating or sharing data. So now, and also there's an imbalance in the distribution of medical resources. Okay, so most people in the rural areas don't really get the resources. For instance, COVID palliatives, I mean, it didn't reach everybody. It tends to go to certain level. It doesn't go deep. It just goes, stays up, or it doesn't go far into the rural areas. So now all of this is a problem. But guess what? It's also like an avenue for improvement, or I call it opportunities. It also gives them room for opportunities. So, and this is where technology can help. So, to achieve healthcare, good healthcare in Africa, we have to hope and also jump on opportunities that we see. So, for instance, we have access to mobile devices, and then we have, although it's low, but it's increasing. So, there are a lot of enablers for technology to drive Africa's healthcare. There's a lot of enablers. We have the young people, we have government. Government is beginning to wake up, and then we have stakeholders who are, like ready to collaborate, and create impactful solutions. And then also, for instance, the NCDC does a lot of work with even like some technology providers like Microsoft and Tableau and the rest. So there's a lot of opportunities there, in despite the challenges. So I mean, the hope is that, when we have more people having access to mobile data, should be able to collect more data, and then also there that should lead to an accelerated innovation for emergency response. So people are using their phones to report, or health workers can use their phones to enter data about a situation. So now we also have government and political will is building up. We notice that, and then there are startups. Startups are rising. If you notice too, Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt, Kenya, um, South Africa. You see that lots of startups are building cloud solutions to strengthen their health data systems. Their national health data systems. There's a lot of participation there, and we can see. And then, according to a particular a report by um, Deloitte, 20% of total connections will be on 4G by 2025. That's actually good news. So it means that 3G will be phased off, like almost phased off by 2025, almost, right? And then the region's young dynamic population is our key strength. So, the when we talk about health related SDG monitoring or SDG goals in Africa, we are looking at how technology can track, health outcomes, and help the government to know how much or how well they're progressing. And even organizations like WHO and USAID can also monitor and know how well the company is using the grants or the loans that they got from them. So there's the need to actually have technology foster interoperability between health systems. So you have the health data coming from the private sector and driven by, of course, technologies like Microsoft. And then we also have the public health delivery and services, because that's where most people will get healthcare services. Now, that's not to say private health sector does not matter. Okay, so so now the technology needs for Africa's healthcare sector is that it has to do with intelligent response to pandemics. No doubt, because there's some researchers are foreseeing that there will be more pandemics. So, and then we need active monitoring of public health safety adherence on both global and local level. We also need active monitoring of healthcare delivery services for equity. Okay, people are looking at how much, for instance, the vaccine. People want to know what are the benefits and incentives for that, if there are things like that. So, and also there is need for better management of healthcare data. I know that private health sector will be doing better at this, but in general, I did a survey before this program, like 3 weeks ago, and I found out that even those in the private sector have problems, they have challenges in the use of electronic health records system, and some are not adequate because they are not integrated to, say, like tools like Microsoft Power Platform, and that's where I'm coming to. So we have we also need tech and legal framework to facilitate data privacy and interoperability in data and EMR systems, that is electronic medical records systems. How is this so? Because electronic records, medical record system collect data, right? But in order to analyze that data and make that data like that flow easily, and in order to also allow the ERM platform accept data easily and quickly, doing quick updates and refreshes and showing you dynamic, interactive dashboards. You need that interoperability between different systems like Microsoft and Epic, for instance. I'm using Epic because Epic is used in America, but that's basically how it looks. There are other EML record systems used in Africa, but they are not like Epic, or they are not as they are actually in the low market. So I'm not going there. So that then there's this active collaboration that we need between technology experts, medical professionals, researchers, scientists, in order to achieve the Agenda 2030. So the Agenda 2030 is part of the SDG goals to make sure that um, every country, because there's a setback already in achieving the SDG goals, so the Agenda 2030 is to help countries focus on their priority development areas, so that more people are reachable, more voices are heard, no one is left behind. So now, this is where does Microsoft Power Platform come in? So for different levels of patient care, primary, secondary, and tertiary, the use of technology in driving a well-coordinated and optimized operations is possible in the following ways. So doctor to patient consultations, appointment bookings, telemedicine, clinical tests and diagnosis. Then also have health field workers using, for instance, um, Power App to collect health-related data for the purpose of health situational analysis, triage services, the nurses taking notes and all of those things. Then monitoring and evaluation of community health programs, which is very, very important. We also have need. There's also need for facility staffing and inventory to be in one place, and this is where Microsoft Power Platform can help. When you collect data in the health system, you collect data and you allot these resources in a way that every geography that has more need gets what they really need. And so, for instance, you have beds, adequate beds for say Ebonyi State, available incubators for say Adamawa State, because they need it most. And the only way they can know that is when there is like a Power BI dashboard, a dashboard to show the decision maker that, oh, these resources should be gotten to this, taken to this place. So, of course, drugs and cleaning equipment and PPEs. Now, Power Platform for hospitals is to help the frontline staff, such as the nurses and medical professionals, to use mobile apps to quickly view and enter information as required. Okay, and this will help them in improving clinical and operational insights. And so, also the web app part of Power Platform is to also help hospital admins, so that they can manage system data, and harness patient engagement. And then also we have dashboards for healthcare decision makers. This is offered by Power BI, and can use that dashboards to quickly make decisions, thereby harnessing the whole healthcare delivery services. So now our case study now is the emergency response. Because of the COVID-19, the whole world is looking at how they can respond quickly to emergencies. So the Power Platform helps hospital or healthcare institutions, facilities to respond timely. The data qualities, the assessment steps, accuracy, timeliness, uniqueness, and all this stuff. So all of these things, in order to capture them when you collect data, which is the most important step in data management, data collection, is that timely data is collected, and emergency response via Power App helps this process. And then there are steps to this, okay? Because for the want of time, I'm not going to do that demonstration in real life. Like maybe in other sessions that when we meet after the whole program, we can do that. But you have to get the development file zip, you upload the development file, you name the solution to emergency response, and you import it into the environment. Now, take note that this is already an app that's like it has been built already by Microsoft to facilitate quick response to COVID-19 issues. So they did this so that people can easily, start deploying the app as soon as possible. And so when you publish the app, you can update the app entities, you load the data, you pass some kind of consent, okay? Because you have to, some consent will keep popping up. You pass that consent off, and then you enter app insight keys into the Canvas apps, right? send, and then you hero and feature the main app, and then share admin app, to whoever needs to see it, or whoever is in your organization, or whoever needs to use the app. So now this is everything about Power App in use for response, emergency response. It can also be applied in different industries, manufacturing, um, any kind of industry that has to probably respond to a situation, even in a workplace, like for hazards. If you want to register hazard, you can build an app, and then your staff can have access to the app and report hazards that they see around the work area. So this, I'm just using this in this context, Africa's healthcare. Now, beyond Power App, right, Microsoft has built a more robust healthcare product for is more focused for healthcare, and is based on cloud system, right? So, and that's called the Microsoft Cloud for Healthcare. I'm going to touch a bit about that, because Power Platform is also part of it. And this presentation will be incomplete if I don't mention it. So, in creating a dynamic and connected health experience, okay, especially for health institutions that can be more sophisticated, they can use Microsoft Cloud for Healthcare, to get the best out of patient experiences, and even staff efficiency. So, and Microsoft Cloud for Healthcare is a combination of Microsoft 365, Dynamics 365, Power Platform, and any other third-party medical records. And also embedded in it also, or is the Azure Health Bot, Microsoft Azure, such that patients can ask questions and the bot will reply them. And if they ask more and the bot cannot reply them, it's passed to a real person who is also at the patient service center. So and then also the Azure APIs allows further connection to third-party electronic medical records, and even databases, research papers, wherever they may be. So what are the kind of data sources that a healthcare facility would need? It gives that ability. So apart from Power Platform giving enabling a health care process to be easy, a Microsoft Solution Center, supports the whole processes that can occur in a hospital system. So this is now beyond just emergency response. It's about communicating with the customers, booking appointments, doing virtual consultation services as a doctor to them, and then also nurses reporting on available beds and all of those things, and so on. Okay, and then also there's data security, which is offered by Azure, which is the fantastic thing about the most fantastic thing about Microsoft Cloud Solution is that it works under the FHIR standards, which is fast healthcare interoperable response resources. So such that people's data are kept privately, and then health institutions have to adhere to private data ethics and privacy legal framework that exists in their country. So I didn't go deep into that, but that's what the Microsoft Cloud Solution Center offers beyond. So I'm speaking about beyond Power Platform. Now, so the way forward now, the way forward, we are done. So Microsoft MCT Africa for Dev is what came to mind. Okay, so I see Microsoft. This is Microsoft West Africa, but I see Microsoft Africa for Dev, which is the coming together of MCTs to drive development, within Africa. Okay, and it's very important because we are part of the teaming youth, and the effects of slow progress in our development also affects us, and we can see it happening every day. So to close the existing gaps in delivering fast and reliable health data systems through Microsoft technologies, MCTs can offer health niche training on Power Platform and cloud-based products for quality care and hospital management. and this has to do with Power Platform, Microsoft 365, and Dynamics 365. So for those that don't have direction about what they want to do, they can just think about a particular niche and then niche their services there or their knowledge there. Also, there's need for us to collaborate with other MCTs across Africa. Many speakers have spoke about that. So to support national health strategies, and this will also help for knowledge exchange and tour. For instance, I want to one day go to Kenya to see to give render my services to maybe a project going on there, based on my own skills. So and then also we need to work with stakeholders in the health data ecosystem, because there is actually a gap. We are in different communities, but guess what? There are different niches that need us. So while we're on YouTube and on WhatsApp discussing and improving on our skills, there is need for us to look beyond just teaching, like to go out there and at least sustainably. And also you can and when we do that, we'll be able to we are joining hands in closing this gap, technology gap on priority development areas, or in achieving priority development areas, because different countries have their different development areas. So now we need to work with in-country Microsoft partners to drive SDG Goal 3, which is ensure good healthcare services, and well-being
Yeah.
for
Hello,
people.
Ezine. I'm
Yes,
so
please.
sorry to interrupt you.
Okay,
You know,
okay, okay.
because of time, it was
All
one
right, all right.
session that, of course, we don't want that to conclude. And I can see, different chats here. Someone is saying, "Isn't it? Can I get your Andy, please?" People wants to connect with you. And also, I
Okay,
have comment here that says, "Well simplified." Thank you so much, Izine. I also have another comment saying, "Nice one, thanks, Izine." Then also, comment here for you. Thank you for the insight, Izine. Also, well done, Izine. There's so many amazing, comments for you there. And
thank you.
we love you. We want to say a big thank you for your session. I don't know if anyone has question. I'm trying to go through the chat to see if there's a question for you besides
Okay,
the person asking for your handle. Okay,
okay,
so basically no question, rather you just have amazing comments. People enjoyed your session. I personally don't want it to stop or end because
okay. So
I'm enjoying the
I'm putting
session.
this to the MCT people.
Okay, I think there's one question if you can hear me. And this viewer is saying, is it compulsory
So
for
I'm
all
putting this up
platforms?
to my fellow MCT professionals. We need to participate.
Okay.
There are many Microsoft innovative programs like the Build for 2030. I've been looking for a team. Let's do something for Africa, guys.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, I think I'll just take this last question if you can hear me before we end the session for today. And our viewers here says, is it compulsory for all platforms listed in Microsoft Solution Center to be integrated to
Sorry,
provide
repeat
an
again. Sorry.
efficient healthcare? Okay, it's
Hello,
on
repeat.
the screen right now. Can you hear me
So
now?
so so based.
Oh, great.
I can hear
So the
you.
question says, is it compulsory for all platforms listed in the Microsoft Solution Centers to be integrated to provide an efficient healthcare solution? Or we can have maybe some. I don't know if you
Thank you.
understand that question
Yeah,
enough.
I totally understand. Remember, I came from Power Platform and I
Sure.
graduated into Microsoft Cloud Solutions, which is not really part of this thing, but it's also like it's the big picture. Okay, so you can start with
Okay.
Power Platform, especially if the health facility is a small one, or they don't have any they don't have so much budget. Okay, so they can start small, and then you can scale, and that's the good thing about Microsoft technologies is scalable. Okay, so when you can plug in as you need, you can plug in Microsoft Teams as you need. You can plug in when you have the budget. When government brings the money, yeah. So or when Microsoft makes subsidize some of these products, they can plug in as much as they want. So it's just as needs arise and as budget increases. That's it. You
All
can add.
right, great. Thank you so very much. Our viewers are also telling you thank you. We really enjoyed your session. So
Yeah, same
that's
here.
a wrap for today. Olari, what do you have something to say?
No, just want to say thank you, isn't it? It's good to see the connection between the Microsoft applications and services and fitting that into the overall goal within the SDG domains. And thank you for bringing that together so that we can say, see, and it's an awesome session for me.
Thank
All
you.
right,
Thank
great.
you.
Thank you very much. Okay, so that's a wrap. And I'll just use this moment to thank all our speakers once again, from Azine right to Nandip to Majid to Funsho Akarele to Titi Lokpe Belo. I'm saying a big thank you to everyone. We really enjoyed your session and we are glad to have you. Like we promised for Majid's video, after this event we would definitely have that uploaded on our YouTube channel, so please you can check that much later for the upload. Now some of us are requesting for the slide. I'm sure we'll find a way to make that available. Okay, so also I would like to thank our sponsors once again. They are really, we can't but just acknowledge and appreciate our sponsors. We have Microsoft. Thank you, Microsoft. Thank you, D Brown Consult. Thank you, Hashem. Thank you, Covenant Technologies. Thank you, URB's Edge. Thank you, Gyre Computer Solutions. Thank you, Charis Cloud. Thank you, Hafer Logic. Thank you, Rugby Business Solutions. Thank you, Macintosh. Thank you, Wisely. And finally, thank you, Textilers. It's really nice. We appreciate your support. And no, we have come to the end of our session, the MCT West Africa Bootcamp 2021. Thank you, everyone, especially our viewers. Thank you all. Right now, an announcement is being made for those who have won the exciting prizes, including the Xbox. I didn't get the chance to win that, even though I wanted. But yes, the announcement is ongoing as we speak, and people are actually winning these amazing prizes. So thank you, everyone. Go out there to see if your name is being called for these prizes. I don't know if Larry has something to share with us.
I just want to say that it's been a totally awesome event all through the 3 days. And I believe the volume of information that that has gone out is going to cause a revolution. It's going to stir up interest and make people to continue, to learn beyond the 3 days event. Just to advise that the channel where you are right now is available, so you can come back, the videos, the recordings, ready there, and from tomorrow come and we'll stream them so that you can follow through with some of the sessions you missed or some track that you were not able to take part of. Thank you everyone once again. Over to you, Joseph.
All right. Thank you all. And no, we'll catch up later. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
This is a one voice number.